I was born in Cameroon, in the southwest of Cameroon. My family was from a very humble background. My father was a practically hunter-gatherer, but my mother was just a housewife. Much about us and about how we grew up is about my father, because he was not educated. He had 13 children. He had to do multiple occupations. He was a hunter. That means he would go into the forest, in the rainforest, and set snares to catch animals. He was a carpenter, so he would move around people's houses and try to roof their houses in order to make money. He was a farmer. He had a cocoa farm and a coffee farm, and he puts together all this income to make sure that he achieves one thing, that for every child that is born, that child will go to school. So when we grew up, we had to always follow my father to do all of these activities. I would go into the forest and bring back the resources that my father harvests, be they plant resources or animal resources. I will come back home and I'll follow my mother to the farm to look for food. Sometimes then when it's school time, we will go to school, sometimes on bare feet, but we will go anyway and we will enjoy doing it. My relationship with nature first comes from my personal interaction with nature. My village is very close to the rainforest, and so everything that you do out of the home is somewhere near the forest. And that started stirring up something in us. So there's always a problem that what do you do when you go out of university? I had a very good degree, but that didn't mean anything. So I decided to volunteer. There was a disaster, a natural disaster, a landslide in one part of southwest Cameroon. And this was caused by two things. The people had been cutting off all the forest. Until now, the forest was bare. And then the farming practices encouraged that the soil it was getting loose, and given that it was kind of in a cliff, it was just an accident waiting to occur. And it happened, and 30 people were killed. And I saw it firsthand. People buried in mud, and they were trying to dig them out. People missing. And I wept, I cried. I didn't know these people, but I felt that something has to be done. There was that kind of awakening. It was not only about the nature anymore, but also it was about the people. People who live close to these habitats, pristine nature. They live in the worst of conditions. Often no social services, no toilets, no electricity, no schools. And at the same time, they depend so much on this biodiversity for their livelihood. Why should we stop them from hunting? Why? If I were in their shoes, because because my father have been, what would I do? I think I would kill everything. Because I need the money. My child needs to go to school. My child needs shoes. But at the same time, I feel so passionate about these apes. Because I study Cross River gorillas, and there are less than 320 animals left in the whole world, in the wild, and one in captivity. This is a valuable species that is at the brink of extinction if we do not do anything. In the summer of 2006, I was offered a scholarship to do a master program in Belgium. And I did a master's in human ecology for 2 years. At first, it was a little bit strange. Of course, there was that cultural shock. And I remember just coming out of the Zaventem International Airport and then seeing a big billboard on which was written, "Welcome to Belgium, the land of French fries." I was like, wow, the leap from basic to sophisticated was very difficult. In Cameroon, I did not belong to that class. I belonged to that class that is right down there. And so leaving that status to come to this one that is so sophisticated, that was strange at the beginning. We were confused. I would get lost. I'll try to find my friends. I would get lost because I didn't know how to read a map. I never had read a map and using a map to find streets. And the first thing that struck me was, oh, these people have too much. This is just too much. Why am I not seeing 7 people in the same car? You see 8 in the same small car in Cameroon. Why is every one person in one car? What's going on? So this is the first things we had to struggle with at the beginning. So we gradually get used to it. So when I started volunteering for this NGO, I was being paid very little, 10,000 francs CFA, which is like 15 euros a month. And most of the time, when we go out to do chimpanzee or gorilla surveys, I would not want to come back home. Because when I'm in the forest, there's no communication of any kind. The internet is off, the telephone is off, the family is off, you and nature. And I kind of enjoyed it. But when I come home, I'm coming home to start worrying where will I get soap, where will I get money to call somebody, where will I put credit on my phone. Because at that time I was so poor, I preferred to stay in the jungle. That was easier. Life was better. You can always get local food from people and eat it. You will not even want any quality because you know you're in the jungle, you're supposed to be a jungle man. And whenever I hear the sound of a chimpanzee or a gorilla, it still happens today. When I'm in the wild and I hear a chest from gorillas, or I hear that's chimpanzee, that day is my best day. I have this kind of internal feeling that happens, that day I say, yes, I'm alive. You know, that connection, I don't know, but when you connect with these animals or whatever, people connect to their dogs, people connect to their cats, people connect to nature, to anything. People connect to forests, to trees. When this connection happens, it never leaves you. And that drive deepens every day. You want to do more, and you always want to do more. So these are kind of the underlying reasons why I got into it. But really now, I don't know. I'm in it, and I don't know how to get out. And I like it. I like being in it, yeah. Something like that.